Hi, welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today I'm going to be showing you my ultimate Altoids pocket survival kit. So for me, this is like Back to the Future. This is how a lot of people started with survival kits. They wanted to go off and live in the wilderness forever, carrying, something the size of a deck of cards. The common Altoid survival tin seems to be the go-to size. I've had bigger, I've tried to make smaller, but for several years before I had any knowledge or training, something similar to this was the basis of my entire survival kit. So this is part one of a three-part challenge put on at Campcraft Outdoors to build the ultimate Altoids pocket survival kit. Something this size, slip it in your pocket. This actually weighs 5.75 ounces. And it's actually a pretty viable kit. So with a kit this size and a little bit of training, it's surprising what you can do. So the rules of the contest was everything had to fit inside the tin. The lid had to close on its own, and you were allowed 2 Ranger bands to hold it together. If this was my kit, I would definitely wrap it with probably duct tape or electrical tape that would waterproof the entire container and give you another resource when you did open it. So if this was my choice, this would have tape on it. Because I'm playing by the rules, this is what it is. So let's bust this kit open and see what's in it. Alright, so here's the kit in its entirety. I'm going to pull off these 2 Ranger bands right from the start. And the lid's still closed, and it passes the inversion test, so the lid is actually latched. Now this is not just to hold the tin closed. These have a lot of other uses. I can use this for any type of binding. I can make small strips of this. I can make traps with this. I've done in other videos. Also, it's a great fire extender. I could light this with an open flame. So if I light this with an open flame, this is going to burn. It's going to burn long enough to dry out wet wood. So this is great in a wet environment. But plenty of uses for the 2 Ranger bands as they are. So getting into the bulk of the kit, like I said, I can shake it. It's going to hold shut. And let's pop it open. So here's a quick look of what's in here. I'll start to break this kit down as it comes out, in no particular order. Okay, right on top I've got a small nail. This has got a lot of purposes. I can use this for an awl. I can use this for any type of building. I can use this for a sinker for fishing. I can tie a string to this and use this like a plumb bob. But a nail, for what size it takes up, is always going to be part of my kit. I have, this is bank line. This is the small bank line. I'm not exactly sure what number this is, to be honest. And let me see how many feet are in here. I believe this is 3 pulls, 3 arm pulls. Alright, so here's the hank of bank line. And like I said, I believe this was 3 pulls. So arm stand to arm span. So I'm going to call that about 6 foot. 2, 3, 3.5. So let's just call this 20 feet. So this is going to be 20 feet of bank line. Now cordage is very important, especially for my kit, because I'm going to need a lot of cordage to build the components of what my kit is holding. But cordage ties the world together. So you can't have enough of it. It still breaks down into smaller strands. It's definitely harder to work with, but I have caught fish with this. This is still plenty strong for any type of building of structures or shelters. So 20 feet of bank line is a core part of my kit. Okay, next thing that comes out, additional cordage. This is Jute twine. Just happens to be green. And this is about 4 feet, so I don't quite have a full arm span of this stuff. Now jute's not as strong. With a colored jute like this, I've probably got a better chance of making a lure of some type. Fan this out, make a little tail. Excellent fire starting also. but additional cordage is always a welcome addition to the kit. I have a striker pad. There's matches in here. I'll get to them shortly. I've got sinkers that are coming out here randomly. Okay, right here. This is a slingshot, set of slingshot bands. Just the bands themselves. So I have to tie the pouch together. The pouch is in here separate. I have to tie this up when I get a suitable tree for it. So, and then wrapped around the exterior of this is artificial sinew. So like I said, there's artificial sinew around this. I'm going to break this open in just a second. Okay, this is a crock pot liner. This is my container. I've got a rubber band. I think there's two. One. So this rubber band is going to get cut in half, and that is what I'm going to use to attach my slingshot bands to my tree fork. And this is quite a large container. You know, anytime you're dealing with plastic like this, obviously it's not the best thing in the world, but you know, this is the size of a full crock pot, and it opens here on the side. So I would roughly say this probably holds 2 gallons of water. I don't think it would support the weight of 2 gallons of water, but let's see here real quick. This is 20 by 13 and a half. So holds a lot more water than a little Ziploc bag. And it's pretty strong. And again, I would just hold a small amount of water in this. If it did poke a hole in it, I would tie it, repair it, and just move on with it. So this would be my container until I can find something better. Alright, next thing. This is a small ferrocerium rod. Kind of a large diameter, but it's a small rod. So it's about 3 inches long approximately. Obviously fire with this. This works wet or dry. I've got a scraper in the can here, something I can use to scrape with, several things actually. And this is a core part of the kit. As long as I've got fire with a tin survival kit like this, I'm ahead of the game. So you should have enough tools to get you to build a fire and the means to start the fire. So that's probably the number one thing in my kit right here. Probably number two, cutting tool would be number one. Okay, so right here I have 2 trick birthday candles. So these are those candles that you put on someone's cake and they cannot blow them out. So that seems like a good idea to me, to try to light stubborn material in a bad environment. To not be able to blow the candle out seems like a good thing. So besides a candling device, this is my light source. This helps me start a fire in bad conditions, windy conditions. You know, this is going to be the thing to use. And plus I've got wax here also, or probably paraffin. So that's got other uses as well. So 2 trick birthday candles. Now I do have matches. They're kind of everywhere. I've got, these are waterproof matches. And again, I've got my striker right here. 2 of them are coming out right now. The other 2 are down in here a little deeper. Okay, so to go along with my water bag, I have water filter tablets, or I'm sorry, water disinfecting tablets. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 aqua tabs. This would go in here. That would eliminate the need to boil water until I can improvise a burnt bowl or find trash resources to boil water, besides what little piddly amount that I can boil in my container itself. Okay, so things are starting to get packed right now. So in the corners, now this is a medicated cotton ball. So this does a couple things for me. Helps me start a fire, but this actually has a blister preventative cream on it. I carry this when I'm walking a lot. Anytime I feel a hot spot on my feet, it's like a petroleum based product. It definitely works to help hot spots down and keep you moving in a bad situation. So this prevents blisters. It also helps you obviously make a fire if push comes to shove. Okay, I've got 2 more of these. This one here. This is a cotton ball that's been impregnated with my herbal bug dope that I made. So this is a bug bite ointment. It's plantain. It's a couple different things. I did a video on it. So again, rather than just ball it up, stuck it in here, it's on a cotton ball. It helps me apply it. And if I need to make a fire, this is wax in here, so it's going to burn great. And the third medicated cotton ball that I've got is I diluted fixing wax. So I took a little keg of fixing wax, medicated fixing wax, added more oil to it so I could push it into the cotton ball a little bit better. So this is a little firmer than the bug bite dope. So this is, again, it's a fire starter. This is great to put on any of your tools to keep them from rusting. And any type of abrasion or anything, this is going to be the first thing I would use. Okay, now we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty here. Now we see this big circle. This is probably the coolest part of the kit. This is a 24-inch Bacho dry wood bow saw. Okay, so I'm going to pull the bow saw out. So again, I got a 24-inch bow saw wound up in here, and this is definitely a watch your eyes thing. This thing, it took some doing to get it in here. Okay, and it straightens out just fine. These are pretty flexible blades anyway. This is a bit of an extreme flex for it, but I was able to get it done. Okay, so we can see I have, again, this is a 2-foot blade. So I have 2 feet of 1-inch Gorilla Tape on here. And my hands are real slippery right now because of those cotton balls, but this will come off. So this does a couple things. It gets me duct tape in the kit, as well as it prevents me from killing myself with this Bacho blade. So there's the teeth on the dry wood, and this is a used blade, but it's still razor sharp. So you definitely got to protect yourself with this. But a 24-inch dry wood Bacho saw blade is what's really going to separate this kit from any of the others. There's smaller saw blades that you can use. There's wire saws, and there's all kinds of things like that. But this is the same saw blade that I've used, as I carry normally with me. It's super strong, super sharp, And with no cover element in a tin like this, you're going to have to build a bomber shelter. Especially going out in bad conditions like I'm going to be doing shortly here. I need to make a great shelter, and the Bacho saw blade is going to let me build a bow saw real quick and then build a great shelter. So no doubt in the durability of this, no doubt in the usability of this. And then again, I've got 24 inches of Gorilla duct tape for fire, for first aid. You know, there's tons of uses with duct tape. So now that the big blade's out of the way, you can see the remainder of the kit here. There is a canvas repair needle. You know, this is a core part of my 10-piece kit as always. And I have most of the 10Cs covered here. The cover is the only one that I'm lacking. And with the tools I have, I'm going to be able to make a pretty nice shelter relatively easily. So, you know, gear repair, first aid, a lot of different uses for a canvas repair needle. I have a 14 mil button compass. This actually is pretty decent quality. This gives me my cardinal directions for self-rescue. You know, it's a core part of any of my kits is a compass. This is a nice accurate compass and fits well in the kit. Alright, so total matches here. Let's see. I have one broke. I have 7 matches. So 7 waterproof matches with the strike pad, and that's just a backup to my ferro rod. I also have, this is the leather pouch. This goes with the slingshot bands, and then around the outside of the slingshot band is artificial sinew that I'm going to be able to use to tie this in the field. And also is my fishing kit. So I have various size hooks. I've got 4 hooks and actually 5 sinkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5. Different size hooks. I've got from small to decent size. So with this matched with my artificial sinew, I've used this before to improvise a cane pole on video, and I've actually also caught fish on the small bank line on video. So again, this is going to be an easy way to produce food anytime I'm around the water. Alright, so tucked down here at the bottom, this is my main tool. This is my cutting tool. This is another sinker here. So I wanted to take the best small cutting tool that I had and improvise the use of this kit. And what this is a cut down bobtailed Mora Eldris. So I got another video on this here I'll release shortly, but I put an orange blade protector on it to protect the edge in transit and to protect me while I'm improvising a handle for this thing. So the Mora Eldris, it's not an uncommon knife. Super sharp, very good steel. It is stainless. It's still razor sharp. I actually just dropped it. This was a carry knife that I had. So just razor sharp. So I took the handle off, cut it down to the appropriate size, and as it sits, it's usable like this. So I'm able to open my kit up, you know, make a notch in wood, do a 1-stick fire, you know, strike the ferro rod. Once I wear through, there we go. So I could do any of the things that the Mora Eldris did before with a 2-finger hold. First thing I'm going to be doing is improvising a handle for this, and then I've got the cordage to make this little knife into a big knife. So again, this is the key part of my kit, is the cut down Mora Eldris. Alright, so I just took some still photos, so I needed to see this when it was still all together. So this is 2 TheraBand Gold slingshot bands, and I've got a little tab of orange electrical tape. So again, this can flag a trap. This has got a lot of other purposes. And then here comes the artificial sinew, and I don't remember, I think it's, let's see, more than I remember. So this is 6 feet right here. So I've got 2 arm pulls of artificial sinew. So I'm going to be using this to tie up the slingshot pouch. Great cordage. I can use this to sew with. This also breaks down. Again, just additional cordage. Cordage is critical in a situation like this. And then, wrapped up all nice and tight, is 2 uncut full-length TheraBand Gold slingshot bands. There we go. So I can use these for traps. I can use these for fishing. You know, I've got videos on all that stuff. But its primary purpose is hunting. I can improvise a slingshot with my saw and a knife and some cordage. Tie it on, use the rubber bands to tie it to the forks, use the sinew to tie it to the leather pouch that I've included in here, and I am instantly hunting small game. So food gathering, you know, multi purposes, but this is what it looks like all disassembled. So I'm just going to throw some handles on some of this stuff real quick just so you can see the full concept of this. But this kit is based on the 10Cs. You know, that's my training. So besides the 10Cs, you know, I added the medicinal ointment with the bug itch relief, the blister care, and the fixing wax, all on cotton ball. So that's multi-purpose. Besides first aid, that's fire also. But it's a pretty solid kit. You know, this is the main part of the kit, and Mora Eldris is no joke. It's a small knife, but it's a mighty little sucker. And then, you know, this is like the artillery. If I can pull out a Bacho saw. Just to show you the possibilities using the tools that I had in the tin and the cordage, here's the 24-inch Bacho saw made into a bucksaw frame. You know, I've just got green wood holding it together and a little bit of bank line. Proven kit. I don't think I have a video on this style saw, but this is super common. I'll probably have to make one here and show you how to do this. But using just the blade and just the knife, I was able to make the saw. I was able to handle the Mora Eldris. Looks super primitive like this. This was what I would consider the first handle. This is going to get me by. This isn't inletted. This is just a piece of green wood that I split in half with the Mora blade and then whipped it on with a little bit of bank line. So nothing's really holding in laterally. So I have to do a lot of push cuts as I was using this. This is going to get me by. My next handle I make, I would split the wood and then inlet it for the tang. So it's going to hold it a lot better. But look at the blade. So I have a full-size handle. This is a lot safer than trying to use a little 2-finger grip. So any Altoids 10 blade, I would do this too. And again, this is just the first one until I can improvise a better handle and inlet it properly. The nail, I was able to make a quick awl. So this is going to let me bore holes through bark, you know, what I have to work with in the field like this. I would make this a little bit longer, probably elbow long, and then I would use this to nap broken glass if I had to. So this changes a nail into an awl in about a minute. All I did was saw this with the blade itself, split it, one baton hit with the Mora, and then that is just a real quick Canadian jam knot. I was able to squeeze the green wood and it actually bit into the head of the nail itself. So super quick, and when I'm done with it I probably wouldn't even carry this around. I would recover my cordage, recover the nail, and throw this little stick aside. And then This is an improvised slingshot. This is green wood. Had a little cool handle here, so I thought I'd use that. Got tons of videos on this, using the rubber band that was around the bag to hold the bands on, the sinew to hold the pouch on. So this is not going to be as strong as a dried fork like I traditionally use. But again, this is the first slingshot I would make. I would use this until it broke. I would find a better donor candidate and start drying it by the fire in case my emergency situation turned into a longer term emergency situation. So the more I got into this outdoor survival, the more I realized that an Altoids tin was not the proper thing. I went to a 10-piece kit and a haversack, and the main advantage is going to be durability. A lot of these items aren't the most durable, and I don't have as many of them as I would like. But as far as the main tools go, this is a quality knife to get me by. This is there's really no disadvantage to this saw over what I normally carry with me. Same blade, just bushcrafted up frame itself. Slingshot, all compass. I got a regular ferro rod with me. So this is a real deal kit. So it weighed in at less than 6 ounces, I think 5.7 ounces. And there is zero doubt that I can get by at least 72 hours with a kit like this. Until next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.